I'm Crickets, and welcome back to I Have a Story. I was digging through some of my paperwork and files and stuff, and found a couple of old yearbooks I'd like to share with you. Share with you to show you who I was as a kid, and to leave for my kids, since I am illegally denied my constitutional, civil, and parental rights to be allowed to talk to my children, let alone be able to share this with them myself. So, since I'm looking at this being my last year, and this stuff is all going to end one way or another, I'd like to leave this behind for you and my children. I'm going to show you here. This is my 4th grade yearbook. Can you find on there the kid who was such a hellion that his parents had to beat him so severely that even at almost 50 years old, I still look at possibly dying any day from the severe organ damage I have from it? This was validated by doctors and what doctors told me. Well, here, let's get a little closer. Now can you find the hellion? This was me right here when I was a kid. Boy, what an evil looking child, right? Look at the evil in my eyes and my face. Truth was, my parents were the ones with the darkness who decided to take it out all on us kids. Alcoholic father who just wanted to be abusive. I'll skip back here to share this. I don't know who wrote this, and I don't remember. I mean, this was so long ago. Who colored her face in like this? I guess my not fully on the screen here like I wanted it to be. I guess I could pull it in a little bit. There we go. I don't know who wrote this. This isn't my handwriting, and I wasn't even this good of an artist when I was a kid, let alone today. But I do remember that this right here, Brian Washington, he was my best friend in elementary school, and that was his girlfriend. He's mine. You can't have him. I don't know. I really don't remember. But I do remember that even though we went to different schools and parted ways after elementary school, her and I ran back into each other and became friends and did some traveling together. Stories I'll save for another day. But that is such a hellion right there. Look how evil that kid looks, to be beaten and punished the way we were. Starved, not having food. Everything our parents did to us. To me, it only still hurts because my life continues to go through miserable hell. Illegally denied every right that I have in my life. My right to my children, my right to civil, constitutional, and parental rights, all illegally denied. When I can prove my case and prove that I was the one being abused, our court systems don't care. Again, it's not about evidence. It's about evident. And evidently you're a man and you are just completely damned no matter what throughout your whole damn life. Well, let's go to something a little more positive. I made a video and talked about how I dated, when I was a sophomore, I dated a prized senior. I mean, she was amazing. Athletic, if I remember correctly, she ran track, she was on the swimming team, she was in all sorts of various educational departments in school. She worked with, I can't remember all the stuff that she was involved in. She was involved in so much. She was such an amazing girl. But that was the senior I dated right there. Her friend Katie and Christine are the ones who gave me her locker number, and I'm an old school romantic. I love having a woman to romance and give flowers and make feel good, like, I don't know, at least what we were taught women back in the day like to be treated. Today, I don't even understand. I don't even recognize women today anymore. But they gave me her locker number, and I filled her locker full of flowers and little love notes, and it was right before one of her track meets, and I put a bunch of notes in there, inspirational sayings and notes all over the inside of her locker, and that was part of how I won her over. I'll also share another story. This guy right here, Matt Peters. He lived 1 block away from me, and him and I hung out a lot. He was a senior, I was a sophomore. But one of the real memorable times I spent with him, we had a Russian foreign exchange student. And the foreign exchange student, he was ranked like number 2 or number 3 in the world in chess. Matt and I started hanging out with him and started taking him out and showing him America. And one of the real memorable times was we got to meet Rusty from Rusty's, the owner of Rusty's Jazz Cafe. And we always thought it was a guy. And what happened was we were sitting at Rusty's Jazz Cafe. I don't know if it's still there. It was such a cool place back in the day. It was over off of Reynolds Road, south of Central Avenue, and out by Dorr Street. And they had a live jazz band, and they had a fireplace in the middle of the it was basically like a bar, is kind of what it was. And you could they it was a wood lit fireplace, and you could actually get marshmallows from the bar and roast them on the fireplace. But we were playing chess, and the kid was kicking our butt left and right, 2 to 3 moves, checkmate. Like, how'd you even do that? Part of where I got to be good at chess, I started playing with somebody who was extremely good at chess. Also part of how I got good at playing pool. I started playing pool with, later on in life, I started playing pool with a professional female billiard. Her name was Donna. And the same thing with her. I mean, just a couple shots and game over. Like, wait, how'd you do that? And I learned how to get good at other sports other than what I already played because I played with people who were so good. So we found out that Rusty was a woman when we were sitting there playing chess, and we didn't know that there were laws against playing games in a drinking establishment. And they called Rusty out, and Rusty was actually a really cool woman. And she came out and was like, you know, you guys aren't supposed to be playing games in a bar and in a drinking establishment. It's actually illegal because of gambling and different things that were going on at that time back in the day. I don't know what it's like today. But I do remember her being really cool and saying, you know, you guys can go ahead and play. I know you're not gambling. You're just kids. I don't even know if we were supposed to be in there in a drinking establishment when we were just kids. I was a sophomore in high school. The other two, the Russian foreign exchange student, I can't remember if he was a junior or a senior. Matt was a senior. And we had a lot of good times together. Matt was such a good guy back then. But I thought I'd share some stories from my high school days. And back then I didn't know what kind of life I even had. My parents beat self-confidence out of me so bad. I had no self-confidence. This was the school, Sylvania Northview, where I became a guardian. My sophomore year, you did not pick on the little kids. You did not pick on the band kids. You didn't pick on the little smart kids and call them dorks and geeks because you'd have to face me. Nobody in that school would stand up to me. I came in with an attitude. God, looking back now, I mean, I was one of the probably most looked at people as being successful in the future, that I just had it all taken away from me and beaten away from me, illegally denied my rights to be an American citizen and be successful in life. And this is all part of why I am where I am today.